All right, we're going to continue today also by graphing in standard form. Right, standard form. As you recall, the first thing we talked about, not standard form, the first form we learned, again, was slope-intercept. Slope-intercept form, that was y equals mx plus b. And the strategy, of course, that you use for that, if y is by itself, y equals mx plus b, you begin with the y-intercept, and then you move with the slope. All right, that's what we did before, but today we are focusing on standard form. That's when x and y are together on the same side of the equal sign. When you have standard form, remember you want to find, your goal is to find the x and y intercepts. Okay, x and y intercepts. There was two ways we talked about how to do that. You can plug in zeros, or you can just do a little shortcut, and we'll demonstrate both of those methods with the first couple problems, and then we'll kind of go back and forth, and then we'll be done. So sketch the graph. So number one, let's do this together. First off, we see that x and y are together on the same side of the equal sign, so we know it is not slope-intercept form. We know that this is standard form. We know that this is standard form. So we need to find the x-intercepts and the y-intercept. We'll do it both ways. So first off, we'll do it by plugging in zeros. So to find the x-intercept, you rewrite the equation, except instead of writing y here, since we know that y is going to equal 0, y is going to equal 0 at that time. Let's go ahead and plug in the 0 right here. So this becomes a 0, so we get 2x equals negative 4. 2x equals negative 4. Okay, how do we get x by itself? Of course, we divide both sides by 2. That makes a 1. So we get x equals negative 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so we get negative 2. So remember, this is a point, so we're going to rewrite it as a point. Negative 2, comma 0. Negative 2, comma 0. All right, let's go ahead and put that on our graph. Remember, this is our x-axis, and this is our y-axis. So negative 2, comma 0 on the x-axis would be right there. Negative 2, comma 0. Okay, for the y-intercept. Same thing, we're going to plug in 0 for x this time, so let's go ahead and rewrite this. Okay, so we have it right here. We're going to take this and plug in 0 for x. Now this one's a little bit more interesting. What do we have here? We have, this becomes 0. We have negative y equals negative 4. Negative y equals negative 4. So really what do you have here? You really have a negative 1 if you want to think about it. Negative 1y. So we want to turn this into a positive 1, so let's divide by a negative 1. That's going to turn everything positive again, because a negative divided by a negative, right? A negative divided by a negative makes a positive, right? A negative divided by a negative makes a positive, so we get y equals. Same thing over here. We have a negative divided by a negative makes a positive. So y equals 4. Remember, this is a point, so we're going to rewrite this as the point 0, comma 4. 0, comma 4 is our y-intercept. Let's go ahead and plot that on the y-axis, the up and down axis. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Okay. Now, just to double check, let me do the other method for you as well. So the shortcut method, do it down here. The shortcut method, again, to find the x-intercept. To find the x-intercept, all you have to do is we label our A, B, and C. A, B, and C. A is a 2, B is a negative 1, and C is a negative 4. And what we learned is the shortcut, the way you can do this is just take C over A to find your x-intercept. C over A. C over A. So negative 4 divided by A is 2, right? Negative 4 over 2. Negative 4 over 2 gives me a negative 2. And isn't that exactly, let's see, that's exactly what we did right here. C over A. C over A. So we get negative 2 comma 0. There it is. Okay, we don't have to do it twice. And then to find the y-intercept, we just do C over B. C over B. So negative 4 divided by, what's our B? It's negative 1. Negative 1. Negative 4 divided by negative 1. A negative over a negative makes a positive. We get positive 4. And that's exactly what we did right here. Right? C over B. So you don't have to do both of these. You can just pick which one you like better. Plug in the zeros. Plug in 0 for y. Plug in 0 for x. Or you can just do C over A, C over B to find your intercepts. Let's just go ahead now and finish this up by drawing a line. So something like that. Don't forget your arrows. And there we go. Let's skip number 2. I think you guys should be able to handle number 2. But why don't we come down and look at number 3? Alright, so again, we'll do both methods for the last time here. So this is, again, we have x and y, the same side of the equal signs. This must be standard form. So let's go ahead and find our x-intercept and our y-intercept. So x-intercept, we're going to write out 2x plus, and then we're going to plug in a 0 for y. So we get 2x equals negative 4. Oops. Solve for x, divide both sides by 2. Let's see, this becomes 1, so we get x equals negative 2. X equals negative 2, which is just negative 2 comma 0. Now for our y-intercept, what can we do about that? So again, same thing, except we're going to plug in 0 for x. Let's see, this whole thing becomes 0, so we just get y equals negative 4. Negative 4, so that would be the point 0 comma negative 4. Okay, let's go ahead and graph that. Negative 2 comma 0. Remember, this is our x-axis, and this is our y-axis. So negative 2 comma 0. That would be right there. And negative 0 comma negative 4. So 0 comma negative 4 on the y-axis right there. Okay. Now this is last time. Let's just double check this with the shortcut method. So the shortcut method says to find the x-intercept, we just label our A, we label our B, and our B is just the number 1 here. And this is our C. So to find the x-intercept, you just do C over A. C over A, that's negative 4 over 2. Negative 4 over 2, that's negative 2. So, yep, that's right. And our y-intercept, we're going to do C over B. C over B, which is negative 4 over, what was our B again? Yep, 1. Negative 4 divided by 1, which is negative 4. All right, so you can see that this gives you the same answer. It's a little bit faster, so why don't we try that one for the next problem here. Go ahead and draw a straight line. Mine needs to be adjusted a little bit. That's better. And don't forget your arrows. All right, so why don't we try number 6? So come down here diagonally. Number 6, why don't we just do the shortcut method here? So let's just label our A, this is our B, this is our C. So the shortcut method says, again, this is standard form because x and y are on the same side. To find my x-intercept, I just do C over A. C over A. So that would be negative 6 over 2. Negative 6 over 2. Well, 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so we get negative 3. Negative 3 for our x-intercept. So that would be negative 3, comma 0. Negative 3, comma 0. Let's go ahead and put our x and y axis down here. Negative 3, comma 0. So that would be on the x right here. Negative 3, comma 0. Okay, and now let's do our y-intercept. C over b, and that is going to be negative 6 over 3. Negative 6 over 3. Well, 6 over 3 is going to give me 2, so I'm going to get a negative 2 for my y. Negative 2, which is 0, comma, negative 2, because this should be in the y position now. So 0, comma, negative 2. So let's go ahead and put that on our y-axis, 0, comma, negative 2. All right, and we'll draw a line between them with our straight edge as best we can. There we go. So you can use either one of those methods. You can plug in 0 for x, 0 for y, or you can do the shortcut. Remember, the shortcut is c over a gives you the x-intercept, c over b gives you the y-intercept. Why don't we just review one more thing here before I let you guys work. So number 4, what do we do here? Again, when you only have one variable. One variable, and here it's x. X equals negative 3. So it's either, remember, going to be a straight horizontal line or it's going to be a straight vertical line. But it's easy to confuse which one is it. All right, when you have x equals negative 3, let's just go ahead and label that x and y. So x equals negative 3. Well, where is one place that x equals negative 3? Here's one. But this is not the only place. Remember, x stands for your left and right values. But what happens, remember, if we lock it at negative 3. My left and right value, it's stuck at negative 3. It can only go like this. So all of these points, you don't even have to put dots. All of these points are on your line x equals negative 3. Why? Because think about it. This is negative 3, 0. This is negative 3, comma 2. This is negative 3, comma negative 2. Negative 3, comma negative 4. They all have negative 3. So x equals is always going to be a straight vertical line. So go ahead and just draw a straight vertical line. You don't need the dots really. Anytime you have x, it's going to be a vertical line. All right, it's going to be locked in. Left and right is locked at negative 3. And of course, y would be the other way. It would be the horizontal line. Okay, so I think you have enough information. Please go ahead and finish the rest of this sheet and do the extra sheet as well.